Hi guys, welcome back to Summer Equals IPL. We're here to review Rishi's team, Mumbai Indians. They're looking a little short in many areas. Rishi, we were just talking, dude, and you were saying how sad this Mumbai Indians team looks. You said you had them in your top four, and now they've fallen off. Where do you place them now, dude? After your assessment of the team?
I don't see them qualifying, to be honest. It'll have to be a miracle and a half for them to qualify. And like anywhere between fifth, like to not finish in the bottom two will be a struggle for Mumbai, if we're being completely honest.
Dude, that's that was little. I thought it was a little too much. Once, what do you think? Do you think they'll finish in the bottom two?
I want them to. Rohit versus Virat. We know the levels that fans go to, and that's why I want Mumbai to do bad. But I see them finishing in the top four just because of Jofra Archer and Surya. I love both these guys, and these two players that I think will carry them this year. Rohit Sharma is probably not gonna perform to his best of his abilities, so he'll have to take on the captaincy in a different. Like he'll be more focused on his captaincy. I'll be more focused on seeing his captaincy because I don't think he's gonna score runs this year. So yeah, other than that, I see them finishing in the top four, but I don't see them going any further than the eliminator because I just don't want them to do well.
Ali, do you not want Mumbai to do well, or and actually
I mean,
from a
I,
neutral's perspective, where do you place them?
I mean, after RCB, I've always liked Mumbai Indians. They just had like nice players, but this year I just don't think they're going to be that good. But I don't think they're going to finish in the bottom two. We've all seen the worst teams that don't even have a captain at the moment. So I mean, we know like they have a pretty decent side. They have the so-called pillars already. I just think Bumrah is going to be a huge miss, and that's the only reason they're going to end up finishing, like very solid mid-table because their bowling is just not that good enough without having Bumrah in that squad. But again, when I look at the batting lineup, even though they're not in form, like Rohit hasn't been firing for India these times. Kishan, whenever he gets a chance, he doesn't show his caliber. Sky, we've seen him in a very, he hasn't scored a run in the last 3 games he's played for India. But when I look at these international players, they're not in form. I worry about that. Tilak Verma showed last year that he has a talent. He can carry that Mumbai team. He was literally like the hope of that batting lineup last year. Let's see how it goes. They have young players though. They have like Tim David, Brevis, Tilak, and this year they have Jofra Archer. He's gonna spearhead the bowling lineup this year.
Yeah.
And he's had a 2-year long break. I hope he's back fresh, back with all his power, and he'll have to carry that bowling lineup for sure.
Dude, Rishi, I mean, me personally, I see Mumbai finishing again solid mid-table. I agree with Adi. Um, the thing is, I don't remember which series it was. I remember Ishan Kishan having a good bilateral series against Sri Lanka. Was it? I don't remember. But
Bangladesh.
Bangladesh. We
He scored the
okay.
right?
Yeah. Right. Correct. Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, that was yeah.
Yeah.
Apart from him, also Rohit's been decent, but there is a lot of batting pedigree in this Mumbai side. Do you think that will be enough to take them over the line, especially in games at the Wankhede?
You're right. They do have pedigree. They do have potential, but that need not translate into reliability. Like having a potentially good squad and having a reliable squad are like very different. So yes, if you were to ask me, I'd say this is a team that's for like say 2025 or 2026. Like that's when
Mm-hmm.
this team would be, at their prime and they'd be gunning for the cup. This is
Yeah.
like, to be honest, this is a very raw squad. Devolved Brevis, Kumar Kartikeya, Ramandeep Singh, Hrithik Shaukin. None of them are, established players. They're all, diamonds in the rough field.
Yeah.
So to expect them to, take the like grab hold of the mantle and take charge, and the extra pressure that comes from being the most successful IPL team, I think the weight is going to be a bit too much for them.
Mhm. Bro, Vansh, the thing is, they're relying on inexperienced spinners. in Kumar Kartikeya and Ritik Shaukin. They've got the experience of Piyush Chawla. Do you see Piyush Chawla breaking into this Mumbai squad?
Yeah, I actually do. In fact, we saw last year, I think Ritik Shaukin was pretty good, but Piyush Chawla, just with the experience, I don't think they can start Kumar Kartikeya and Ritik Shaukin. It's just a lot of inexperience in their team, along with your international inexperience of Dual Brevis. I think, although I love him and like Baby AB, any team, he's gonna do well. He's gonna win games for you. But yeah, I mean, he's just got dual Brevis gives you that leg spin option too. Like he bowls, so Piyush Chawla might. I don't know. Like I don't think in the start he starts for Mumbai Indians, but later on in the innings, if they're not doing particularly well, then well, like if they're over, if Dual Brevis is not bowling well and if you're not getting options of leg spin from him, then I think they would get Piyush Chawla in because Dual Brevis is a very special cricketer. I think he's some cricketer he's a cricketer in terms of he fears nothing, so he's just gonna go out and score runs for you,
Hmm.
and he just had the same influence that AB has in games, which I'm really excited for.
So the other option, of course, the other options to replace Brevis are, of course, Tim David and Tristan Stubbs. I've personally gone for Tristan Stubbs. Um, Again, this is just purely the eye test. When I seen Tristan Stubbs bat, it's just beautiful to watch, and I'm really excited for him. I want to see him given a chance, and I hope he does well. Adi, you've gone for Tim David, who gives you a couple of overs as well. Is that the thought process behind that? Behind picking Tim David?
I mean, it's more of the middle order explosiveness. Last year we saw he came in the middle order. He was like he came in the ending of the middle order, like he came to finish off the games. It was almost like in the Miller role where he came and just went explosive, hit a lot of runs for Mumbai in the
Yeah,
death. So that's the only reason I'm taking Tim David. I feel like they're missing that Pollard now. So I feel like Tim
yeah,
David
bro.
can
Yeah, I swear,
exactly. So
Just
in the
just
middle
add
order.
that just add that he's RCB's product. That's why you're
Tim
standing out.
David.
Yeah.
He's
RC's product. He never played well for RCB. I mean, he couldn't
uh,
even score any
By
runs for
yeah,
product,
dude.
RCB.
you mean yet another player who's not performed for RCB, and the moment he stepped out, he's been having the time of their life.
Dual
I mean, we
Brevis
had him a
also
lot of years.
all the hype was because of RCB fans, and then you guys just ended up buying him.
Why didn't RCB buy him? I mean, anyways, let's move on. We don't know
Yeah,
him, right?
Yeah.
As I
and we're
said,
talking
that's
about
the
Tim
only
David.
reason.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I feel like I've seen from last year itself, and I've seen that he's very powerful in that middle order, and he can hit those sixes. And I just expect him to basically replace, the Pollard and give that explosiveness in the end.
Rishi, what about Cam Green, who was supposed to be that Pollard replacement? He can bowl, he can bat as well. Where do you see Cam Green fitting into the squad? What sort of a role will he play, and will he open the batting? First of all, is he a Pollard? Like, is he a Pollard caliber player? That's what I mean.
He's a bit too young to have those comparisons. And this
Hmm.
is his first IPL season. Isn't that a bit too heavy a name for him to live up to? Because
Yeah,
Pollard, to
yeah,
be
I
honest,
agree.
has to be like probably after AB de Villiers or right up there with AB de Villiers as the most, clutch, most reliable player when it came to tough moments for any team. The number of times he has actually bailed us out, like it's incomparable. So I think it's a bit unfair for Cam Green to be, put up against such a huge name. But
Yeah.
and this is his first IPL, so there's going to be a lot of pressure on young Cam Green. And if he has to bowl 4 overs, I think it's going to come out of necessity, and it is not going to be the initial plan where they're going to allot 4 overs to him. It's going to end up being a necessity for us.
I mean, with
Also,
Bumrah out, I really do think he has to bowl 4 overs because when you look at the team, no one else can actually ball.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
especially if
Yeah.
you're going to play him every game, and I don't think Berendorf is going to start because, if you want your Brevis and Tim Davis to play, I feel like he has to take that responsibility and ball that 4 overs.
No,
I
so
think they bought him in also with a yeah,
Green,
yeah, Vansh.
Brevis, Tim Davis, Behrendorff.
What?
Who do
Yeah.
you have? Who's your fourth spinner if not
For
Behrendorff?
me,
Bumrah
it's
Archer. I know.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Archer. Archer's gonna ball. So like I feel like if bro you can't spend 17.5 crores on him and not play him.
yeah, yeah.
Who are your top four foreigners?
Mine.
Mine.
Yeah, Vansh, yours.
My top four are actually I'm going with uh I'm going with Tim David, Jofra Archer, Behrendorff, and Cam Green.
No
Yeah. Okay,
Brevis.
so
Yeah,
it's
I think it. Yeah,
you've gone for
Jason
the extra
Behrendorff.
bowling
Before that,
option.
maybe
Yeah,
Yeah. I think Behrendorff starts because left armor. You have no experience in that bowling lineup. It's looking a really bad bowling lineup. So, but
then
yeah, I
how do
mean,
you
there's
see them
nothing.
finishing the top four there? How?
No, it's just because they have these impact players, bro. Rohit will go and like score like one game. He'll go and he'll score 170 and he'll win you one game. Then you have Surya, who's
When
top
was the
five
last
batsman
time
in the
Rohit
world.
did that, bro?
once going by that, we can name players for every team. To be honest, in this IPL, like there's
Oh
not
That's
no,
true.
bro.
one
That's true.
Surya,
we can't say this
Surya
player
is
can win
like,
a game, this player can win a game.
bro. Surya is gonna win you 3-4 games
No, I
easily,
think
bro.
this is the leanest patch for Surya in like a long time, and I
That's
think it's
true.
it's come at a very
Yeah.
bad time for Mumbai
Leanest
also.
3 games. Leanest 3 games.
Of ducks, not just runs.
Yeah,
Hat trick
that's
And
of
what I'm
ducks.
saying. So
even
it's
before
been
that, he's
three
not
games.
he's
I
not been
mean,
in that
T20
that
World Cup, he
stellar
was
form.
no, not really. I mean, T20 World Cup, he was good.
T20 World
Then
Cup,
we
he
didn't
only
play.
played against teams like Zimbabwe, not against the top teams also.
See,
If
that's why
India
Vansh,
played
that's why
against
like
teams, then that means
there's a
how
lot
what
of
can
potential in this squad, but then consistency and
But
reliability like it's up in
I
there.
think,
bro? See
but
for
if you
green,
look at it, if you look at it like from an objective perspective, Surya playing at Wankhede will enjoy it. I think he
Yeah,
will do well.
yeah, he's gonna
Yeah,
score
yeah.
runs, bro. Like,
He's definitely
it's
going to
not
do it.
even a doubt. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah,
Surya is too good of a player for that. But anyways, um, if you have that's the problem then if you have you have to choose between Brevis and Tim David, and even though I really like Brevis, I think Tim David starts in that opening game because Behrendorff, you need that bowling option. You can't rely on only Jofra Archer. And usually Mumbai is a team where if you like usually they want their bowling to be pretty like sorted and they rely on their core batsmen to just perform.
yeah,
So if they're bowling four of green, then you can maybe think of dropping Behrendorff and giving you that batting option. But they have a good batting lineup. I see no problem with it. They have Brevis, Tim David. If Brevis doesn't start, they have Green, Surya, Kishan,
yeah.
Rohit. They have a really good batting lineup. So I think that batting lineup will win you games.
Yeah, I think I agree with Vansh. I think they want the extra option in Jason Behrendorff to bowl to start with, and if Green is able to give you 4 overs, then you can drop Behrendorff and play the second choice in Brevis, Stubbs, David, whoever.
I mean,
Um,
looking at it from an objective perspective, yeah, these are good players. These are very like proven players. But then from a fan perspective, like this has been the most uncertain like Mumbai fans have
hmm,
been. So like
yeah,
usually our teams have been right up there. So this is like from I'm talking about from 2022. This has been the most uncertain or like we don't know where to go from here.
yeah.
So this
Yeah.
so maybe that's the fan in me speaking. Let's see.
Also, it's because there are 10 teams in the IPL, so your team is bound to have one to uncapped players because you know that there'll be one two players from domestic cricket. So I like the idea of Ritik Shakeen and Kumar Karthikeya because both of them are of course uncapped players and they give you something new. And most of the teams are reliant this year on filling that hole with that domestic player that not a lot of people have seen.
But the thing is,
But
usually I mean, they usually when they have domestic players, it's not them being thrown into the mix completely. They have enough experienced quality players to, protect them even if
They
needed.
have bro Arjun
True.
So you saw,
Tendulkar.
so even yesterday, little went for like quite a few runs in the beginning, and then even they had enough players to cover that, like make up for it. So let's see.
Dude, so the thing is,
Ar-
the problem with Mumbai is they. I think for me, their uncapped players are like just way too inexperienced in the sense that they
yeah,
haven't played enough IPL cricket. If you look at other teams, they've got uncapped players who have been around for a while. Like for example, RCB have got Mahipal Nomror, Rajat Patidar, Shabaz Ahmed, who
yeah,
are, you know what, you get what I'm saying, which is basically they have
yeah.
more experience in their uncapped players, and that's where I see Mumbai struggling. If Ritik Shaukin and Kumar Karthikeya can have good seasons, nothing like it. But I think that's where Mumbai lose out on a top four spot. Adi, how do you see these uncapped players faring for them?
See, the thing is, I just feel like this is more of a rebuild season. I
Yeah, yeah, correct.
not just the players itself. I mean, I feel like the team management are going to give these young, lads a chance because we've seen over the years Mumbai have produced a lot of young players. We've seen that with Bumrah, Ishan Kishan. They've allowed them to, take their own time, nurture them, and then I feel like they will be fine with it because when you look at the squad, it's very young. They've invested a lot in these young players when it comes to Asian Christian, they bought him back for a lot. Brevis, Cameron Green, Shokin, even Karthikeya. So I feel like they're going to give them time. Let's see how they fare out because at the end of the day, these are the spinners. They're going to bank them on, these two. I don't really think Piyush Chawla is going to play much
Mhm.
because I just feel like Mumbai Indians would rather, let these young players bud in, let them get that IPL
Yeah,
experience. Because putting in Piyush Chawla this year, I mean, they're not going to get any returns out of it in the future. And if Mumbai want to, go in this young squad direction, work for the future, I feel like they have to give these guys a chance. And even if they lose, two, three, 4 games, they still have to let them go on, play on throughout the season. I feel like without Bumrah, already I feel like, MI don't have that pressure of going and winning the IPL. I mean, they've
yeah,
won
yeah,
five
yeah, yeah.
IPLs also. It's not really a must for them, compared to other teams like DC, RCB. It's almost like they need to win it. Whereas Mumbai can take that time. They've always, been successful. So I just feel like they have to give these young players a chance.
Their
And also
their
Rishi, tell.
uh,
Yeah, yeah, go
their
ahead.
bat their batting is in fact really good, and I think along with some owner umpire influence, they can do really well. I'm still butthurt about that Malinga no ball.
Malinga incidents, yeah, 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 yeah. But it's okay. It's
I mean,
it's
I feel
it's been
like,
what, 4 years now.
Yeah, bro, but I can't.
Yeah, yeah, it's
dude,
fine.
but
Okay.
actually, but when you look at the team, if you don't play Brevis, I don't think they have a very solid batting lineup depth also. Because if you take out Brevis again, then everyone has to come one forward. And then they only have
Yeah,
like five proper batsmen. I don't really think Cameron Green is like that great of a batsman in T20. So again, you look at that, you have to only bank on five players in a
I
T20.
think
It's going to be
T20 is
tough.
his best format.
yeah,
I,
same.
I
Actually,
haven't, I haven't.
whenever I've seen him open for Australia, he's looked good. But don't you think
Yeah,
this Mumbai Indians batting lineup is a little erratic? They don't have anybody to really depend upon in the sense that who will
exactly.
carry the innings through. So Ishan Kishan is erratic, so is Sky, so is Rohit Sharma most times.
No,
And we've seen
I
Rohit
mean,
Sharma go out and defend his erratic shots as well that he plays in
that's
Test
it.
cricket. So, yeah.
That's where Tilak Verma comes, I guess, right? Because we saw him last
Yeah,
year. He was able to
yeah,
play that
yeah,
number three role,
yeah. Yeah.
They have a
carried, he
pretty
went through all the
solid
innings.
lineup, bro, batting
I think
lineup.
they're hoping Tilak Verma to anchor the innings if
Yeah,
he plays a little higher up.
I feel like without Brevis, this batting side's not that great because if Surya just loses a wicket, it's Tim David after that. They don't have much players there to play. You need depth in that squad because they don't have a good all rounder. That's why I
Hmm.
always, dude. That's the reason. Like when I saw them, go for Cameron Green over Sam Curran, I was pretty surprised because generally I thought
Again,
they were going for
yeah.
either Stokes or Sam Curran because bro, they spent like 17.5 crores on that.
And he's another one we don't know much about. He's never played the IPL, so we don't really know how Green is going to turn out. And to be fair to the people against Cameron Green, he's only turned up in T20 cricket over the last 6, 7, 8 months. So there's a lot of uncertainty around him. To pay the big bucks for him might be a risk, but we'll see if it works out. We've already spoken about where Mumbai is going to finish. I think we all agree that it's kind of a rebuild season, except for one who has them finishing in the top four. I don't know how, but yeah, I mean that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for joining in. This was the Mumbai Indians preview. We've got a couple more teams. We'll wrap it up.